not married, but this mom shares a surprise. Resistance bands transform her routine fitness journey. She stood in front of the mirror one Tuesday morning, phone in hand, and realized something had shifted. Not her body, not yet, but her mindset. For the first time in months, she wasn't thinking about what she couldn't do. She was thinking about what she might be able to do. And it started with something so simple, she almost laughed. Her name's Elena, and she's a single mom of 2. Mornings were chaos, evenings were exhaustion, and somewhere in between, she'd forgotten what it felt like to move her body with intention, not punishment, not guilt, just movement. But that Tuesday, something changed. It wasn't a grand plan. It wasn't a transformation challenge or a 30-day detox. It was a set of resistance bands she'd ordered on a whim after scrolling too long one night. They arrived in a small canvas bag. No intimidation, no assembly required. Just 5 colorful loops that looked almost playful. She didn't expect much, but what happened next changed everything. Elena had tried gyms before. The commute alone was 40 minutes. By the time she got there, worked out, and drove home, 2 hours were gone. 2 hours she didn't have. So the membership expired. The guilt didn't. She tried running, but her knees protested. She tried yoga videos, but her kids would interrupt every 5 minutes. She needed something that fit her life, not the other way around. That's when she stumbled across a video about resistance training at home. The creator wasn't selling a program. She was just talking about how resistance bands had helped her rebuild strength after pregnancy. Elena watched the whole thing. Then she watched 3 more. And before she knew it, she'd hit buy. The bands sat in her closet for 3 days. She kept walking past them. Part of her still doubted it. Could something so small really make a difference? Then one morning, her daughter asked, "Mom, why do you always look tired?" It wasn't meant to hurt, but it did. That afternoon, Elena pulled out the bands. She started with just 10 minutes. A few basic moves she'd seen in the videos. Squats with the band around her thighs. Rows using the doorframe. Shoulder presses, nothing fancy. Nothing extreme. Just her, in her living room, while her kids watched cartoons. And for those 10 minutes, she felt like herself again. The first week was awkward. She didn't know if she was doing it right. Her form was probably off. But she kept going. 10 minutes turned into 15, then 20. She started noticing small things. Her posture felt straighter. Her lower back didn't ache as much. She could carry both kids upstairs without needing to stop halfway. But there was still one thing she couldn't explain. Why did this feel so different from everything else she'd tried? Why wasn't she dreading it? She thought about it a lot. And then it hit her. It wasn't about the bands themselves. It was about control. For once, she wasn't trying to fit into someone else's routine. She wasn't failing at someone else's standard. She was building something that worked for her. The bands were portable. She could use them anywhere. Living room, bedroom, even outside, when the weather was nice. She didn't need a gym. She didn't need childcare. She didn't need to carve out 2 hours. She just needed 20 minutes and a doorframe, and that made all the difference. By week 3, she started feeling stronger. Not just physically, mentally. She wasn't waking up exhausted anymore. She had more patience with her kids. More energy in the evenings. She even started sleeping better. Her body was responding. Yes, but so was her mind. Was it really working, or just coincidence? She tested it. She skipped a few days. And sure enough, the old heaviness came back. The sluggishness, the brain fog. So she picked the bands back up. And within 2 days, she felt like herself again. That's when she knew. This wasn't placebo. This was real. What surprised her most was how functional the strength felt. She wasn't training for aesthetics. She was training for life. Lifting her son, carrying groceries, playing at the park without her shoulders giving out. These weren't gym goals. They were mom goals. And for the first time, fitness felt aligned with her actual life. She started sharing her progress with a few friends. Not in a look-at-me way. Just casually. "I've been using these bands. It's been really helpful." One friend tried it. Then another. They started texting each other little updates. Accountability without pressure. Support without judgment. It became a quiet kind of community. By month 2, Elena's arms had definition she hadn't seen in years. Her core felt solid. Her legs were stronger. But more than that, she felt capable. Like she could handle whatever the day threw at her. And that feeling was worth more than any number on a scale. She laughed, realizing how wrong she'd been. She'd spent years thinking she needed more time, more money, more space to get fit. But she didn't. She just needed the right tool. Something that met her where she was. Now, here's the part that really shifted things for her. It wasn't just about having the bands. It was about having the right ones. Early on, she bought a cheap set from a discount store. They snapped after 2 weeks. The handles dug into her palms. The resistance was inconsistent. She almost gave up. What surprised me most was not just how a quality resistance band set improved my experience with home strength training, but how everything started to feel different once I switched to the right method. I wasn't expecting such a clear change, and honestly, I tested it more than a few times before I figured out what really worked. This isn't a promotion or endorsement, just sharing real results that made a noticeable difference for me. I'll leave the link below if you want to dig deeper and understand what I mean. Alina didn't become a fitness influencer. She didn't post transformation photos. She just kept showing up. 20 minutes 4 times a week, sometimes 5. And slowly, steadily, her life started to shift. Not because she was trying to be someone else, but because she was becoming more herself. Her kids noticed. They started joining her sometimes. Her daughter would copy her squats. Her son would try to help by holding the bands. It became a family thing, a ritual, a moment of connection in the middle of the chaos. And that's what she wanted to share. Not perfection, not a before and after. Just the truth. That you don't need a complete overhaul. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You just need to start with what you have, where you are, because fitness isn't about punishment. It's not about earning your body. It's about moving through life with strength, with intention, with a little more ease. And sometimes, all it takes is a small shift, a simple tool, and the courage to try. Alina still uses those bands every week. They're part of her routine now, part of her identity. She's not a single mom who's too tired. She's a single mom who's strong, who makes time for herself, who shows her kids that taking care of your body isn't selfish, it's survival. And if you're watching this and thinking, I don't have time, or I don't know where to start, just know, she thought the same thing. Until one Tuesday morning, when she decided to try. And everything changed. Tell us which country or city you're watching from. See you in the next video. Bye.